Why are you doing this?
Does it matter? Three beautiful bald heads I'm looking at.
Are we just a fashion statement or what? Hello, may I call you JK? This is the first time I've
Yes,
met you.
absolutely. Yes, thank you.
Wonderful, JK. This is a total thrill. Thank you for joining me this morning to talk about You Can't Run Forever. You play the character Wade, predator or prey, survival of the fittest. That's Wade's philosophy. Has it served him well?
Wow, that's a very good question. I'm going to say it has served him better than it has served some other characters we meet in the film. I'm certainly not going to give away any big spoilers, but there are a lot of bumps in Wade's road, and I'm not just as he rides the motorcycle.
Actually, it's survival of the fastest. That's his philosophy, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess that is an interesting phrase that Wade uses, or that, of course, my wife, the writer director, wrote. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, because Wade is a brutal, ruthless. He's just a true monster. It's kind of shocking to see exactly how far he'll go. And I was wondering, as an actor, what possessed you to take on something like this? Because I know you for your comedy and your other roles, intense roles, but man, you really kind of crossed the line with this, and your fans are going to be kind of shocked. So it was your wife who was sitting at the dinner table one day and said, "Hey, honey, check, look at
Yeah.
this script."
Yeah, and truly, our collaboration historically, I don't look at scripts, as they're being written. Usually, it is usually a pretty finished product. I mean, I knew the story that she and Carolyn Carpenter, her friend and co-writer on this movie, I knew what they were working on and the general idea of it. And it honestly, at the end of the day, it's like with anything else, and I'm at a point in my career and have been for a while where I get to choose. I do what I want to do, and I don't do it if I don't want to do it. And 90% of that is, when I read it, is there, first of all, do I think it's good writing? And second of all, is it something that I can find some way to connect with this character, whether he's a psychopath like You Can't Run Forever, or whether he's, Juno's dad, or whatever. And there was such a clear sort of psychological, emotional roadmap for this character and for this movie, that it was an easy thing to say yes to and be involved in.
Either that, or you're going to sleep on the couch for the next few months, right?
I
So,
mean, that's also a factor, but fortunately, it didn't come to that. And then for her and her brother, by the way, our producer Randall Schumacher, for her to assemble the cast and the crew, for them to assemble the cast and the crew, and for both of our kids to be heavily involved as well, was a real great sort of family moment as our kids, quote unquote, are becoming young adults.
and I kept thinking, playing a serial killer, I want to know the motivation, the backstory. Why does he do what he does? But there's one line in the film where the guy's like, "You're about to shoot him." He's like, "Why are you doing this?" And he goes, "Does it matter?" I mean, that sums up his motivation right there. Does it matter?
And it's that was one of the things that when they came up with that, and actually we're debating exactly how to phrase these lines, that sort of nihilism and hopelessness, and the abject terror that creates in an intended victim, or a victim, or I found that to be really chilling, and still get a little bit of those kinds of goosebumps. I also get the cuddly family goosebumps when talking about this movie, but and that was a big part of their discussion process during the writing of it, was, are we ever going to even begin to try to understand where this guy's coming from, or would it be stronger to just like never delve into that at all? And ultimately, and I never want to give anything close to a spoiler. Ultimately, they decided to sort of look into literally where this guy is coming from.
Yeah, when you're sitting in the car with a corpse and playing with him on the cell phone, and I'm just like, this man has no logic, no reason, nothing, and just accept for what he is, a true
Yeah.
monster. And also, tell me about shooting in the woods. Was there any challenges with that?
Oh, plenty of challenges, but mostly for the director and the crew. It was the movie takes us from daylight, bright, beautiful Montana, sunny afternoon, all the way through the night. So once we got into the night shoots, especially, it's not like it was the dead of winter, but it was October and it was cold, and poor Isabel Anaya is running around in her cutoffs and her short sleeve little blouse. Me, you can see at least behind you. At least I had a jacket and a hoodie. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean the many many challenges of shooting on location in the first place, and then shooting out in the middle of the woods where we did have visits from a bear and a moose, multiple snakes, some unfriendly neighbors of the
Doesn't
of
sound like it's not a union shoot there, JK. It doesn't sound like a union shoot there.
no, it absolutely was, and all those precautions were being taken. In fact, a life was saved during the making of this movie because Randall, the producer, had thought ahead to when we were shooting in these woods locations to make sure we had, first of all, actual competent medics on set, and in the case of a real emergency, we had someplace a helicopter could land for a helivac, and we not we the medics and Randall's thinking and Michelle's preparedness, saved a guy's life by quickly air evacuating him out of there to the hospital and getting him the care that he needed urgently. And that's a big part of the sort of you know goosebumpy aspect of talking about this movie is you're making a movie about life and death, and then I wasn't there that day, but it was we all experienced it. The family that a film cast and crew becomes experienced that in real life.
Well, JK, this is just a shocking role for you. It's going to surprise your fans. I one of my favorite things. I know you are so good at comedy. I show on a regular basis when you were on Saturday Night Live. I show the video Teacher Snow Day all the time. So I just love how you are so diverse in your career. But I love when you do comedy. So let's do a comedy next time. I have to kind of balance
Well,
this one.
I got a few in the hopper. Yeah, well, I'll get back to that. That's the beauty of what I get to do. I can go back and forth, and I love it.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I'll come visit us in Las Vegas soon. We'd love to have you.
All right, thanks.